everybody. Happy New Year, hey? Wow. Okay, now, right now the YouTube studio says no data, so I have no idea. Oh. Reconnection successful. There we go. Excellent. Hi everybody. I'll say it again in case that didn't get through. Hi everybody. Happy New Year. So we already had a disconnection with my OBS studio. Hopefully that it doesn't happen too often today, but as usual I do have my recording going, so if anything happens, if anything gets lost, I've got the backup. I hate having to do this. Watching the Astro Clock reading, I know how painful it is. I keep stopping and starting all the time. I can't do anything about it though, guys. It's my internet. I'm really sorry about that, but at least you can hear my voice consistently. It's only the video that stops and starts, so that's one thing. Anyway, let's not dawdle too long. We're here to revisit all the Astro Clock cards of January with Mew, Gulf and Tool. Tool's actually the most intriguing one today. If you remember, guys, he had Man, Scythe and Spirit. First thing that came to my mind was a meant-to-be breakup or karma and destiny stepping in and taking over. But then again, you know, the man, we're only assuming that that man is Mew. It could be someone else. So it'll be interesting to see what else comes of that combo, 3-card combo. Also Mew and Gulf with their combos, they both had mountains. So there's some sort of obstacle or problem happening. And just let me get this off my chest too. That picture that Mew's just shown of him sitting at the lake at a time that we thought he was alone because he didn't show anyone. Now he's showing himself sitting at the lake. Two pairs of feet. There's a pair of feet there. Now, of course, all the shippers are going to say, oh, stop it, that's Tool for sure. Well, okay, but if it's Tool, why all the mysteriousness? And this is something I want to get out before anything else. This is just opinion, nothing to do with the cards, but just opinion. Why do it? Why is Mew showing these kind of pictures still? If it's all fair and it's all, you know, completely out there that it's meant to be Tool, that Tool is the one, then why share such a mysterious photo that could be questioned? It could be questioned because you don't know whose feet those are, really. And not only that, have the background music be Ed Sheeran's Photograph, which we all know as Waanjai is a special song back in the past for him and Gulf. Why do it? Why do it? Now there's two things here, okay? Mew is either deliberately baiting Waanjai to keep hanging on by a thread because of nostalgia, because of curiosity, because of the mysteriousness of everything. He's doing it on purpose, which in itself means he doesn't want Waanjai to go away. He doesn't want Waanjai to stop going to his business places, and he doesn't want us to stop linking him with Gulf. It means all those things, no matter what the truth is, whether he is really with Tool for the right reasons, whether he really loves Tool or not, doesn't matter. Whether he is secretly with Gulf in the background, doesn't matter. Whatever it is, Mew wants these posts to be viral, to be getting him attention of some kind. So, you know, I just leave that with you as brain food, okay? For those who think we should shut up and get lost, Mew doesn't want that. Clearly, Mew doesn't want that, okay? And for those of you who think, you know, there's something to believe because of these things, well, there is the possibility that he is only doing it to keep our attention. There is that possibility, okay? So, don't be naive and think that it's all just code. It could be that he is just doing all these posts to keep our attention. There is that possibility as well. And then on the most positive side, it is code. And that photograph song meant he was with someone in particular, but he can't show who he was with. All he can show is a pair of shoes. Now, who knows? I don't know, because all the pictures that we saw of Gulf on his holiday, he wasn't wearing runners. But on the other hand, you only know that from pictures in motion. And there's that picture of his friend buried his feet in the sand. The only real thing you can go by. And I'm pretty sure that was Gulf with his feet in the sand there. But we all know it was a fact that Gulf was in Chiang Mai at the time. Maybe not the whole time, but he was there at some point while Mew was there. So it's very possible that they did get together for a secret rendezvous sort of thing without being suspected. Anyway, let's get on with reading now, guys, okay? That's enough FBI MewGulf for now. No offense to the real owner of the name. Just, yeah. Let's get on with it. Alright, so we're going to start with Mew, of course. Now, I've already got the cards up here, and let me just quickly... This is the setting we have today. So the 3 cards to the side are the Astro cards, and I will switch them when we switch people. You can still see these sort of in the circle here anyway. So we've got Tower, Anchor, Mountain for Mew, starting with Mew. And because to my disappointment in the reading, a lot of the combos were not in my list, so I had to go back and I had to add them. And interesting finds with all of them, actually. So we're starting with Mew, of course, so I'm going to read out the actual meanings that I found for these cards and how they go together, and then I'll read out the summary that I wrote a couple of days ago about it. And then we will draw the 9 cards and see what else we can gather from it all. So for Mew's January forecast, we had Mountain, Anchor, Tower. Now, Mountain and Anchor together can mean obstacle to security, obstacle to settling down roots. What's an obstacle if he's with two? Anyway. Long-term blocks, being trapped and blocked by security. So that's Mountain, Anchor. Then Anchor with Tower, creating a secure defense, security and authority, an old company, federal government, trapped in a building or a company, or in a family, perhaps, a family that's sort of holding him hostage with something, you could say, and I don't mean Mew's family. Security in a building or company, or he could just feel secure, financially secure, that would be then. Financially secure while he's associated with his family and Tool's family. And foundations in a building, so Anchor, Tower, and then Mountain Tower. Mountain Tower, loneliness is a challenge. Wow. Well, if you're with the one you're going to love and you're going to marry and you're going to be with for the rest of your life and you're lonely, that's, yeah, okay. Challenging authority. That could be if somebody wants this thing to go ahead and he's not wanting it to happen, then challenging that authority. Imprisonment, feeling trapped. Government, legal restrictions, isolation, feeling alienated and alone. Now, you wouldn't feel like that if you were next to your true love either, would you? So, all those meanings, even though there are some meanings there that could be, in their favor, a lot of it isn't. Anyway, my summary that I came up with, what I said originally on the live, didn't really cover any of these meanings because I didn't have them at hand, did I? I only took at face value what the cards could mean. Still, I did touch on except being held back or stopped from doing something he needs or wants to do. I said that in the video. So that could be why he feels trapped, why he feels blocked, obstacle to settling down, roots, long-term blocks, etc. It could be something like that because he's being held back from doing something he needs or wants to do by his work schedule, for example. Or just outright struggling with managing his workload or being weighed down with work as well, it could be. It doesn't sound like a pleasant month for Mew, but I'm sure he'll enjoy it anyway because he's, he loves to do what he does for work, travel for work, etc. But all these combos point to the mindset of or literally being stuck or held prisoner or trapped or feeling alienated and alone. With the Tower involved, it could be of serious nature, involving authorities or the law, or even those he looks up to, such as his elderly family members. So that's what I got from you in review of the Astro cards. Now, we will get on with pulling the 9 cards now. Not sure if you're with me or not there. Again, oh, drop the card, hang on. It's got the yellow banner of not responding, so, oh, it's there. Oh, that's funny, the card that dropped was the incense burner. That's interesting. Still, I haven't said anything, so I'm not going to take that as the middle card. We'll just put it back in there. And if it wants to come out, it'll come out again. Okay, so let's get on with the reading. I'm sorry if you're not with me. I will upload this anyway if it gets lost, so let's just get on with it. So, little deck, tell us more about the Tower, Anchor and Mountain for Mew Suppasit in the month of January 2026. What is happening for Mew this month? I'm going to count to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, whoop, 5, 6, oh dear, 7, 8. Okay, you couldn't help yourself, huh, little deck? Alright, well, we got heart and dog here, which remaining loyal to someone you love, you could say that is. Anyway, heart came out first, so it's only fair to make that the center card. So that's interesting too. For the fact that we know that Mountain, Tower, Anchor is possibly a legal obstacle or problem, and it's around something he loves. That could be work, or it could be something else. Then the next card would be, yeah, I don't fill the corners until last, so I would say that that goes up top, because that's how I do it. I do the cross of destiny, so to speak, and then fill in the corners. So that would be the next card there. Dog on top there. Alright, I've already counted 8, so I will just simply keep pulling cards and fill the gaps up. So we go here next, down here. So this is for Mew for January. Fill in the corners. Alright. Okay, put those cards aside. Hang on, let me remove that in case I need a drink. Alright, so as I said, we've already got what it's centered around. This whole reading is centered around something Mew loves. Like I said, could be work or could be something else. Now, let's see what the cover card is. disconnected, reconnecting. Don't know who's with me and who's not, but we'll find out afterwards, I suppose. Alright, so the cover card is the Sun. So this is interesting because Sun can mean happiness, successful in career, but it can also mean clarity. And honestly, lately with all the readings I've been getting from you, the first thing I pick up on is clarity. So I'm going to say that's clarity about a friend possibly. Anyway, let's keep going. So this is the cover card. Now this is the conclusion card. So we start with clarity and we end with stalk. We end with a change or we end with moving on. That's interesting too, considering what was forecast in the others. Anyway, okay. Now let's frame the heart properly and see what the other corners are. You go this one. Ring. Okay, so he's either remaining loyal to a commitment, remaining loyal to an engagement, or he's gaining clarity about such, right? Okay, and the other corner. Whip. Whip, okay. Now this is on the left side, so could be in the past. Alright, and let's keep going. Lily, could be career or maturity, could even be serene and calm times. Try this one. Letter, contract, agreement, private conversation, many things there. And woman. Okay. So see, I'm seeing two people cards. There's the dog up here, which could very well be Tool, and there's the woman down here, which could very well be Gulf. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Alright, so I think we'll go straight to putting that up on the fridge behind me, and we'll go straight into explaining that. Oh, let me remember, I forgot to do this. I meant to do this so you know who I'm talking about. So you see the highlight square around Mew there? Yeah, okay. So, where are we? We have Sun. We start with Sun. Haven't got Sun up there, so I should have it. Yep. Sun. Dog. Try not to be all day about it, I know. Ring. Lily. Heart. Letter. Oh, we're not going to have. Let's put that up a bit. Still not going to have enough. There's not enough room for you, Tool. That's ironic. Okay. There we go. Whip. Still not going to be enough room, is there? You're already slightly out of the picture in the circle, but that's okay because I will move to the bigger screen in a minute. And lastly, stalk. Here we go. So successful for Mew to get all the cards so far. That's good. wondering how we're going to go today because there were a few repeats for everybody. Hang on, let me change screen. Here we go. Put that back on. All right. Everybody can see that all right? Oh, there. See, tools, I can pull him down slightly there. Okay, here we go. Okay, so starting with, not up here, they're the, hang on, let me lift them a little higher. Still in the picture? Yeah. Do that with them as well. Over here. Can't skip setup on a live, guys. Alright, now, starting with the past, we have Sun, Lily, Whip. So, as I said, clarity, maturity or sense of serenity and calmness, and Whip. Whip can be continuous, continuous patterns, repetitive patterns, returning to something. Can also be abuse, but I'm not sure actually, because this could be he's seeing clarity about why he has to remain mature about some possible form of abuse that continues, or it could be he remains happy and content and mature and serene, continuing to do what he is doing. So there's two different meanings there already. Excuse me. I wonder, do I have those meanings by any chance? Let me have a look, because I have got more meanings now. Chances are I may have it. Let me just have a quick look. I'll try and be as quick as I can. Sun. No Sun, Lily. Lily, Whip. Lily, Whip. Conflict about age or sensual issues. A punishment is moral. Being protected from harm. Being mature about one's routine. Continuing to be faithful, virtuous and wise. So there's some meanings for you. And what about, do we have the other? No. Okay. I still haven't got all my meanings yet. But just knowing what that is interesting. There is a slight age gap between Mew and Tool, but there's an even bigger one between Mew and Gulf. So there's that. Or there's also having trouble with an older one. In fact, that's a good point, because I mentioned that, didn't I? I mentioned that in the forecast, in the summary. So having trouble or an older relative is being a challenge. This could be about somebody in Mew's family or Tool's family who is possibly giving Mew trouble behind the scenes because they don't agree on something. Could be anything. I won't go further than that. Could be anything. And he's now seeing that clearly. Perhaps he didn't realize that this person was giving him trouble, and now he's gained clarity about it, that this person is the one who's standing in his way of what he wants to do or what he needs to do, perhaps. Could be something like that. So if you even go into the possibility that what Mew needs to do is to reunite with Gulf and, you know, clear the air, clear up all the misunderstandings, etc. There could be one particular relative who is sort of forbidding him from taking that move. It could even be Tool. He's not older, but in the sense of, you know, in the sense of he has to remain mature about this obstacle, it could be Tool stopping him from going to see Gulf. But I don't get that here. No, it's not really Tool. It could even be it could be someone on Tool's side, someone older on Tool's side, who doesn't want him to have anything to do with golf, who doesn't like seeing him continue, you know, these connections with golf, even if it's just for the sake of getting attention for more money. It could even be someone who's like scared of him getting back in touch with golf or seeing golf again, because they think it could threaten Tool's status, for example. There's a few things that it could be there. But like I said, it could also be that Mew is just happy and really content with what he's doing right now, and he's going to keep doing it. It could do that as well. Moving on to the present column. And this is for this month, remember? Just saying. So this happens earlier in the month. Well, he just showed pictures of being content sitting by a lake, right? What I just mentioned before. Serenity, a time of calmness and serenity. I think his what do you call it? His caption even mentioned the word calmness or serenity. So yeah, it could very well be that he's happy and calm, and he's going to keep being that way. Alright, and present we have dog, heart, woman. Continuing to be loyal to something he loves and someone he loves, possibly. Could be that. Could be, dog and heart can be like strong friendship. It can be, like I said, remaining loyal. It can even be like loyalty to something you love, which again, like I said, could be work. But with the woman down here, and like I always say, I do not see Tool as the woman. This could be Mew loves Tool and golf. Differently, but he loves Tool and golf. And at the moment on his mind is you know, about remaining loyal to a contract or engagement thing. But underneath, hidden what do you call them? Hidden influences could involve golf. And if we jump here, it could be returning to golf in the future, to make a change. So there's a few different things it could mean. If this doesn't mean Tool, if the dog doesn't represent Tool, then it could even be that both of these represent golf, being loyal to golf in the background of everything. It could be that too. Okay, and hang on, do I have... Heart and woman can also be like describing a feminine person who's all heart, who's very loving. It can also be describing a loyal person. And since we're talking about Mew, that kind of fits for Mew anyway. Nope. Okay, so we don't have those combinations. I still need to keep adding my combinations. Alright, so we'll leave it at that for now with the present. I think it's a pretty straightforward combination there, though. It's obviously something Mew really cares about because of the heart in the middle here, and it's the whole situation. So, yeah, it could be that an elderly person in his family or Tool's family is stopping him from doing something he really wants or needs to do regarding his loyalty to this feminine figure, whether that be golf or someone else. The fact that he's got an obstacle in his way with that could be even more so to pointing that it's golf. But like I said, it could be he's just calm and serene, continuing to be loyal to his significant other, if you want to put Tool there as well. So it could be that. But still, we have clarity here, and we end with stalk. And stalk is change, possibly moving on, better horizons, etc. So it could be something else. Anyway, as we go on, move on to later on in the month. So we have ring, letter, stalk. Now straight away to me, that kind of means engagement or contract for an agreement or a personal private agreement or contract or conversation that they've had, something's going to change. And if you jump to Tool's forecast, he had the Scythe in his reading. So this points to that, yes, Mew could very well be the man that, well, it's right there, I show you, see? Man, Scythe, Spirit, that's Tool right there, the 3. So this change could very well be this change, which is also interesting, because Mew starts here, happy, possibly, or gaining clarity about something, and he ends here, moving on, or a change of some kind regarding a commitment, contract, or a relationship even. This ring can point to relationship as well. So that's interesting. I might say, you know, this spread is not giving away too much. And I think there's a reason for that. You know, I've been getting this idea lately when I've been doing readings for them that there is somewhat of a protection there in order for things to not get too spilt before the time or before they happen, I feel. Not the protection entirely that I'm getting false readings, but more that, yeah, there's like a point in my reading where I'm like, right, no more, can't say any more than that, leave it at that, leave it to imagination then, the way Mew always does, because otherwise it may get out of hand. So yeah, but I'm really, like, even just because I happen to decide to put Tool's cards here and it's like this, yeah, I think it joins. I think it joins with that. And then, funnily enough, when we put Gulf on this side, it's going to join with Scythe. It's going to join with Spirit, isn't it? Now, I did not plan for that, but that's how it's going to be, isn't it? Anyway, moving on to possible T's now, before we move on. So, Sun, Dog, Ring, Heart, Woman. As I said, it could be gaining clarity about someone he's been loyal to, in a relationship with, committed to, who he really truly cares about, who happens to be a feminine spirit. Could be that, or it could be, as I said, this could be significant other, which would mean this is all T anyway, as in Tool. Go the other way, we have Whip, Woman, Stork, Heart, Dog. In this sense, returning to a feminine person, making the necessary change because he still loves and remains loyal to this person. Could be like that as well. Or if you do say that this is Tool, then it would be continuing to suffer or continuing to remain under abuse or under, since what can be any challenge. So since we got for his Astro cards up here about feeling trapped, feeling trapped, yes. Feeling trapped and lonely and alienated, it could be that. That could be a form of abuse that he's suffering right now. So he continues to suffer that while being with this person, but a change is going to come by the end of the month. And I'm happy to say by the end of the month in this case, because in Tool's reading it had the Scythe. So definitely something is going to happen. And then T is this way, Sun, Lily, Whip, Heart, Letter. So could be being challenged about something that he has to remain, being challenged about something he has gained clarity on that he has to remain mature about. and continue, you know, remaining loyal and loving to this contract or this agreement that he's made with someone, right? Or it could be, if we put heart and letter together, it could be relationship. You could see that as relationship, so having to remain mature about being trapped. I'll just say this card is trapped for now. Being mature about being trapped, remaining trapped, but seeing clarity, seeing, you know, there could be a way out, possibly through spirit. There could be a way out in the future, so just remain mature and serene and calm about it, and, you know, let things take course. Could be that. Or go this way, ring, letter, stalk, heart, lily. Some agreement, contract, relationship is going to change with someone he loves or something he cares about. Could be work again, like I said. And he's going to be happy about it. It's going to bring serenity to his life when it changes. Or it's he's going to remain mature about this change, whatever that change is. Right? And knighting, well, look at this. Dog and whip is knighted. And also stork here is knighted. So if dog is tool, the challenge and the obstacle is to do with tool, and there's going to be a change. Or if you want to go back to this being just loyal to someone, the challenge is to remain loyal to someone, and this is going to change. Not that he's going to stop being loyal, but something about this challenge that he is facing. Possibly, if you want to say that it's golf, the challenge of distance and being forbidden from being seen together, etc. This is going to change. It could be something like that. Hi Kelly, how are you? So it could be that. What else is knighted? Hang on. Well, here, look at this. Woman is knighted with ring and woman is knighted with sun. So it could be that Mew has gained clarity about who he truly cares about if you go like this. Or ring, same thing. He's found clarity about either the person he is still with or the person he is being seen with. He's found clarity about it, or they're just bringing him happiness. It could be that as well. But then go here again. We have something he has to remain mature about, ring and stalk here. His relationship is going to change with something he loves and something he has an agreement or a contract with. Could be work, could be an engagement. Or it could be serenity will come when this agreement, contract, engagement changes. Okay? So, and look at also the last knighting before I move on. So letter, sun, letter, whip. Letter, whip. Letter, whip. Now that's interesting. Honestly, I wish I had all these meanings at hand. Let me see if I have letter whip, because that's got me interested. Letter whip. Letter whip. No, I don't have letter whip. Damn, but still. Letter whip could be continuing a contract, could be continuing an engagement, continuing a private agreement, and something he sees clarity on something, or he gains happiness from continuing this arrangement, whatever it is. But something's going to change. No matter how you look at these cards, it ends with stalk. So something is going to change, and then we go to tool. Here we have scythe. So whatever this change is, that is destined, that is meant to be. Regarding a man in Tool's case, it seems to fit the whole picture that it's going to be a change, Mew and Tool, a change with Mew and Tool, whether it be a positive change or a negative change, there's going to be a change. A sudden change too, because scythe can mean sudden, but I'll go into that more later when we go to tool. All right. Okay, so that's Mew. Hang on, I didn't do these, did I? So on his mind right now, the clarity he's gained about something that he's loyal to, or a friend that he has a relationship with right now, he's gained clarity on, or this friend that he has a relationship with is making him very happy. The reality, so this is on his mind. Then reality, the reality is that calm and serene, or remaining mature. I think it's more remaining mature though. Remaining mature about an agreement. Remaining mature about an agreement, whether that be work or his engagement with Tool. Remaining mature about it all. Could be bring serenity to him as well, but this could also be an agreement between him and Gulf. If we go back to what I said before the reading about, you know, he keeps baiting Waanjai possibly. It could be an agreement he has with Gulf to, you know, let's keep linking ourselves with each other so that we both benefit from the people who want to see that content. Could be something like that. Not likely, but possibly. So it could be that too. And that could be the change. Maybe that's going to stop. Who knows? Because it's not too late, you know. The year, I was going to go into this again more later, and I will still, but the year of the snake was all about shedding what no longer serves, waking up to, you know, what fits and what doesn't, and it's all about, well, not the snake, but the year of Saturn, which is what 2025 was, is all about discipline, karma, and life lessons as well. And technically, we are still in the year of the snake. We're in the year of the snake until February 16, I think it was. So this could be the last month of the snake shedding what no longer serves. And then suddenly, because the year of the horse comes next month, so there could be a sudden change happening possibly even last minute of this month, so that they can all move on towards something that's more aligned with their true selves. All right, that's enough for that. Okay. Right, now also, I'm going to pull, hang on, let me change. I'm going to pull 3 Buddha Wisdom cards for all 3 people, and I'm going to do it after I do these, so that if I do have to split up the video into 3, it'll be easy to split it up. Or even if I don't have to upload the video, I can just do what I did. Sorry, I'm sort of sitting half. I can also just do what I did for the Astro Clock readings and just put in the chapters, and I can just have 3 chapters for each, one for each person. So I'm going to pack these cards up. They're up on the fridge still, so we've got them for reference, don't worry. I didn't go into hidden influence, did I? But hidden influence, the whip woman and stork, still, you know, there's going to be a change, whether it's continuing with the significant other, there's going to be a change to that, or returning to a significant other, there's going to be a change with that. So either way, there's going to be a change. Alright, so let's pull 3 cards for advice for Mew Suppasit for the month of January in 2026. Hello there, Buddha Wisdom. What advice can you give Mew Suppasit for this month, please, in 3 cards or more? Make sure I'm in the picture there. What advice can you give Mew Suppasit for the month of January in 3 cards or more? Oh, there's one. There's that one again. We had that one in the last reading. Interesting. Can we get 2 more cards, please? Buddha Wisdom. 2 more cards for advice for Mew Suppasit. Whoa, whoa. Oh dear. Well, I kind of asked for that, didn't I? That's too many. That's too many. No, I can't do that. I'll take that one because that was in broad daylight there, but take that one. I think I won't take that one. Oh dear. Too many cards. That did not go as planned. Anyway, what have we got here? I tried to take only the ones I'd seen a glimpse of, but if on the rewatch there's more cards there that I should mention, I will. Anyway, for now we have happiness will never come to those who fail to appreciate what they already have. That's interesting. Let go of the things that hurt you, but never forget what they taught you. Also interesting. Remember that sometimes not getting what you want is a wonderful stroke of luck. Ooh. Also interesting. And happiness does not depend on what you have or who you are. It solely relies on what you think. So that's the first one that came out, and that was the one I said was in the reading, the last reading for him as well. Interesting. Wow. So make of that what you will. Appreciate what they already have. This could be linking towards me needing to, you know, do the spiritual inner work to actually appreciate what he has, because he seems to always seek for more, whether that be money, achievements. It's not a bad thing, but you know, it can be you'll never be happy if you always think the grass is greener on the other side. That's what comes to me with that. And kind of he came from the grass is greener on the other side. That was where he came from. So no doubt he is feeling that right now. Or if he is still with Gulf, and you know, the thing with Tool is only a face show sort of thing, he's already got something with Gulf going, is possibly what's that referring to. But it could also be the other way, you know. Let go of things that hurt you, but never forget what they taught you. Well, this could go both ways as well, because it's possible that he got hurt in regards to Gulf in the past. It's also possible that he is still being hurt right now by the person he is actually with behind the scenes. So there's 2 things that it can relate to there. Remember that sometimes not getting what you want is a wonderful stroke of luck. Well, I could jump straight to the change and the scythe here. If Mew really thinks he wants to be with Tool, and it's all going to come to a sudden end, then this could be the stroke of luck, by all means. In other words, this card could be saying that he missed a bomb, you know, possibly, if that is how it all happens. Or if it's more about not being with the person he truly loves. I don't see why Buddha Wisdom would say that, because it's not positive in that case, but not getting what you want is a wonderful stroke of luck. Yeah, I'm not sure. Unless it's talking about stroke of luck meaning money. You get more money if you stay where you are, kind of thing. And then happiness does not depend on what you have or who you are. It solely relies on what you think. Well, that again, that kind of makes me think of spiritual healing, of appreciating what you already have, appreciating that you don't have to be rich as Minos in order to be happy. And that, you know, if you really have a true loving relationship behind the scenes with someone, that's enough. It should be like that. Whoever that's with. Alright, so that's probably enough there for now. That did not work out. Wait. Just shuffle these cards back in there. Okay, alright. Now, moving on to Gulf's reading now. So let me unhighlight Mew and highlight Gulf. And we have to change the cards as well. So, bouquet, clouds, and mountains. So, hang on a minute. Tower becomes bouquet. Anchor becomes clouds, and mountain remains mountain. So that's already a synchronization between Mew and Gulf, is they both had mountain, or they both ended in mountain, you could say. Hang on. Try and put me a bit more in the circle here. Okay. Alright, so hello there, little deck. Please tell us what is in store for Gulfkanawut this month of January 2026. What is in store for Gulfkanawut in regards to the bouquet, the clouds, and the mountain? What is going to happen this month with Gulfkanawut? Count to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Behaved yourself this time. Okay. As usual, Gulf has, you know, less to say, I think. He's remaining quiet this month. I mean, there's nothing scheduled until the 15th. I think it was on his schedule. So that's interesting in itself. It's like he's spending the last of the year of the snake just, you know, peaceful, away from it all. Possibly still with his friends, in good company, etc. While the end of this dramatic year comes to a close. Could be something like that. Anyway, enough of that. So, what is in store for Gulfkanawut this month of January in 2026? Starting with the center card. Go Cross of Destiny. Okay. Alright, so that is the 9 cards we're going to be working with for Gulf. Alright, so what are we centered around today? Let's see. Oh, look at that. Cross. Destiny. Cross of Destiny. Oh gosh. Okay, Cross of Destiny. Or it could be burden as well. There could be a downside to this as well. But we won't know until we know what the surrounding cards are. But yes, this could be the month that Destiny starts taking control of the situation, you could say. Alright, and what about the cover card? Where does it all start? Or what is it, what's the starting point for this reading? Lily, maturity, being calm and serene. Like I said before, he's in a calm and a serene time right now to start this month. Possibly just letting destiny take its course, we could say. And what about the closure card down here? Moon. Feelings about destiny. Remaining mature about his destiny, or about things that are burdening him right now that people may not see. Could even be his reputation represented by this moon card here. So it could be having to remain mature about the burden of his reputation, or the burden of him being seen by others, how he's seen by others. Could be that. Alright, and what about frame the cross properly? Clover. A little bit of luck. Serendipitous encounters. And birds down here. Birds can either be communication, anxiety, or a social media card. Gossip, rumours, etc. Luck or serendipitous encounters that are destined or that are a burden being gossiped about. That could go either way, as it always can. It can go either way. I'm thinking it's either the luck of being able to meet someone in private that, you know, he's meant to be with, or it could be the serendipitous encounters he has with someone in particular who he is no more than a friend with is causing him burden because of the gossip and rumours that surround them. Could be something like that. Alright, and let's continue to reveal the cards. Good morning.
Lad.
We have ship. Ship can be distance, longing, can also be moving on, can be travelling, like travelling overseas. He said he was going to spread his wings and fly, didn't he? But not in January, I don't think, or at least not till the end of January. Or mid-January, actually. Garden here. Garden can be like public, what's publicly known. Or community, support from his friend, his inner circle of friends. Can be that as well. Alright, and what have we got on this side? Oh look, Spirit. Spirit tells me even more that this is about destiny here. This cross, we've got Spirit there. So Spirit. And this is reality. Spirit is in reality again, which is always a good sign. So Spirit, what cannot be seen, the third eye chakra, and what is meant to be, what is destined, is going to become public, possibly. Interesting. And last card to be revealed, mice. Mice. Okay. Right. So this could be the end of a distance with someone you're destined to. Could end. Or going this way, private communication or something you're anxious about is going to end and be revealed. Or it could be, if you want to go there, it could be conversations and communication will stop, will cease and become in public and will become private. It could be something like that as well. Very interesting. Alright, let's put those cards up and let's move on to talking about them. I'll leave them there for now. You can ponder on them while I set it up. Oh, how handy, the moon's there. Okay, so the moon is the last card down here. Cross is the center card. Oh, Spirit. I just realized I will need, probably going to have to pull my other cards out. Am I going to have to get a third lot of these cards now that I'm doing 3 people? Wow. Maybe just get another thing of cards. I'm going to have to take this card here and put it in here. That's going to become our Spirit up here. Even that's just, I'll talk about it later, but it's that's kind of interesting. Anyway, I'll tell you what the hell I'm talking about later. What else do we need? Clover. Ship. Garden. And mice as well. We need mice. Garden is where here. Starts with Lily. Lily there. And what was that last one? Birds. There we are. Okay, so far so good. Not very lined up though, are we? Oh, look what I've done. No wonder we're not lined up. I think I tried to link it with this more than anything else there. Alright, let me just move that. Okay, there we go. That's better. Now, I will move to the other screen again. And I will change highlight to Gulf. Now, before anything else, what I was going on about before, this is the Spirit card if you can't quite see that. The reflection's not very good. But what I wanted to talk about is that this is the original Spirit card right here. This is the original card. This is the fake Spirit card. That's what I wanted to point out. The fake Spirit card, or the copy Spirit card, is the one that happens to be being used with tools combination down here, and the real one is in Gulf spread. Don't know if that has any meaning, but just, you know, kind of caught me by surprise there of, oh wow, now I did not think of setting that up. That all just happened the way it did. One of those other coincidences, right? Okay, anyway. So let's get on with it. So the past, we have Lily, Spirit, birds. So in the past or earlier in the month, serenity and calmness is brought to him by Spirit or his intuition, or what is not seen, the third eye chakra, possibly secret. What did I call them? Rendezvous, a secret rendezvous with somebody. Because birds can also be a couple in some light. So, yes, this could be the destined couple. His intuition and what cannot be seen. The destined couple is peace and is peaceful and serene and calm at the beginning of the month. That really fits in with him being on holiday in Chiang Mai at the same time that somebody else was there. That really fits. I know he didn't stay there. They went on to what's that other place called? I can't remember the suburb, but started with P anyway. He ended up No, I thought it came to me then, but no. He ended up in a different place with his friends, with his SK friends. But he was in Chiang Mai at some point while the other was there. So very easily could have had a secret rendezvous without anybody suspecting it. Like I said, those shoes, you don't know for sure that that was Tul sitting next to him. Anyway, let's not get into that. So it could be something like that. So for the beginning of the month, destiny and what is meant to be could be bringing him peace and serenity. Could even just be like what's inside of him. His intuition brings him peace and serenity that nobody else knows about or can see. Could even be, you know, if we go back to this card being gossip and rumours, etc., or being talked about. It could be that seeing others talk about his possible destiny with somebody brings him peace and serenity, like he's very calm and happy about it. Or this, again, it could be, like we said with Mew, it could be maturity. He has to remain mature about so many people talking about his destiny. Could be that too. If you go for this card being like the career card, it could be that there's a change coming for him with his career this year, and it's meant to be, even though he might be a little bit nervous or anxious about it. It's meant to be. Could even be, if we go back to the idea of how Gulf said he's going to spread his wings and fly this year. Birds have wings, don't they? So it could even be something like that. His career is going to be more overseas this year, which is meant to be, and he's going to spread his wings and fly. It could even be something like that. Okay. Going on to present, we have ship, cross, mice. Now, I sort of touched on this earlier. Could be that long distance relationship or a distance between him and someone that has been burdening him is going to end. So longing will end. Longing that has been hurting and burdening him in the background will end. Could be that. Could be that all the travel, all the extra travel that he now is faced with, the overseas work, etc., is going to be a bit burdensome for him. It's going to bring a little bit of anxiety, possibly stress as well. Again, going with this being anxious and nervous as well, could play on with that, but it's meant to be. So, you know, Gulf will manage. He will get through these anxious and nervous feelings, perhaps. Could be moving on. Could be moving on that in the sense of this is the last month for him to sort of move on completely from the idea that he's going to be with Mew, if he's really not meant to be with Mew. You know, that, you know, what's done is done. And he's going to have to live with the reality of what's going on. Reality of what's going on in the public eye. He's going to have to move on and start accepting it, accepting his loss. Could be that too. Depends what you believe. You know, I try to put all the possibilities out there for whatever anybody thinks. And then you sort of make up your mind of what you think fits best in your own opinion. That's really what I do. Let's move on to future or later in the month. We have Clover, Garden, Moon. Like I said, luck or serendipitous encounters can be unpredictable though, this luck. But something is going to happen or he's going to get a chance to be with someone in public or amongst his friends perhaps. But I get more in public, and it's going to reveal something. I feel like moon can be a little bit like sun sometimes. It can be like revealing, oh, look at that. That's interesting too. You know, the sun and moon, if you know the connection between the sun and moon, they're a pair, just to keep it short. So Mew starts with sun, Gulf ends with moon. That's interesting too. Anyway, yeah, it could be very well like revealing secrets, revealing something secret. A secret rendezvous or encounter is made public, and it's a bit of a burden when it becomes public, but it's meant to happen. Could be something like that. Okay, and then what's on his mind? On his mind right now is Lily, Ship, Clover. Remaining mature about his life journey or about going overseas a lot this year, and, you know, appreciating his luck in life, or taking advantage of all the serendipitous encounters that this traveling will bring, perhaps. That's what on his mind. Maybe he's even planning in his head like all the times he can meet up with somebody without anybody knowing anything about it. Could be that. Reality, as I said, again, spirit here is in reality. So the reality is that something is working behind the scenes. Destiny, or the third eye chakra, something you cannot see, is happening behind the scenes. It's meant to be, and it may seem like a burden presently, but it's going to sort of, I kind of get the idea with the garden there that it's going to bloom. It's going to become a beautiful picture. It's going to become a beautiful picture when it's all through. So it may be burdensome right now, but it's all going to be worth it. It's sort of like paradise. Does that make sense? It's sort of, the destination is paradise. It will all be worth it when it's all said and done. But it's meant to be. It's meant to happen to Gulf in this case. Alright, and then hidden influences, we have birds, mice, moon. Again, I get the idea that talking, communication is going to cease and possibly become private or secret. Or if you want to put this the other way, that it's not hidden, it's more revealed something. It could be that gossip and rumor on social media is going to end because something is going to be shown up that was private. It's going to become public, and it's meant to happen. Something like that. Alright, and then T's, Lily, Ship, Clover, Cross, Mice. Remaining mature about longing and distance with somebody. Getting to see them occasionally when traveling. But the burden of that is going to end, or the burden of not seeing them while traveling is going to end, possibly. Or maybe something's going to happen with a trip he's meant to take with a job overseas, or maybe a job overseas in itself. Maybe something will happen. Something gets cancelled, maybe. And it's meant to happen. When it does get cancelled, it's like destiny stepping in. But it will take away the opportunity to do whatever that job or destiny is. Could be like that. Down here, birds, mice, moon, cross, ship. Again, communication will cease and become private possibly, because that's what's meant to happen in order to either move on or to stop the distance between them. Something like that. Or stop a ship. Stop a ship. Could be rumor and gossip about him and someone else will cease once they sort of take that relationship into private. A ship will be stopped. Something like that. Possibly. Yeah, I can't really make anything more of that. For now, anyway. Going this side, lily, spirit, birds, cross, garden. Something he is being mature about, or something that brings him calm and serenity. That is possibly even being talked about. Is meant to happen here with the spirit and the cross. Possibly a burden. Possibly being his destiny being talked about as a burden, but it will become a pretty picture when all is said and done. Something like that. Or clover, garden, moon, cross, spirit. His luck of his his social community, his support system, who he associates with in private. He could be supported by his closest circle with somebody he sees in private, and that's meant to be. Something like that. Or serendipitous encounters, somebody he gets to see now and then. It's going to become public knowledge, and that's meant to be. And then knighting, ship, birds. See, that makes me think ship, as in, you know, shippers. Shippers talking about him with someone else, possibly. Ship and moon, yeah. So it could very well be that him and somebody else decide to not be so open on social media because of the burden it brings to their friendship by the shippers. It could be that. Or it could be, if you want to put it in the sense of mewgulf, it could be that the communication and the codes and everything that we seem to keep seeing between mewgulf, they may stop that. They may stop that for a while, and it's meant to be. They're meant to stop it, because only then can possibly destiny and karma and everything work quietly in the background when nobody suspects anything, maybe. And what else we got? Mice, lily, mice, clover. Yeah, see, so remaining mature about something he's lost or something he's anxious about. His luck with something he's anxious, nervous, worried about, or something that's eating him up inside. Again, this makes me think of, you know, being an uncomfortable situation that he's in, either having to keep his real true love story private, or, you know, getting to see the one he truly loves very little because of all the talk that could be happening that is making him anxious, because it affects his job, their career, his career. Could be something like that. And that could be Mew or the other. In fact, if I go to the reading I did for Gulf, and yes, Smith I'm talking about, the other day, it did mention how Gulf possibly was worried about the result if they were to form an actual ship and do a BL together or something like that, of the results on or the aftermath on his and possibly Smith's career, job, reputation, etc. He showed signs of being concerned and wanting to protect that for both him and his friend, because it didn't go any further than being friends in that reading if you read it or if you watched it. So it could very well be that too. So like I said, it could be an actual ship we're talking about. Could be the shippers. In fact, if you put ship with birds, shippers right there. So it could be that he's forced this year to become more concealed, private, protective of his serendipitous encounters with his friends, or possibly even the one he loves. And it's meant to happen, whoever this person is that he may have to, pull back his communication with, or his publicly known interactions and communication with. It's meant to happen. It's meant to happen here. And yeah, because Spirit is linked with Clover and Moon down here. So really, Clover, Luck, Moon, Secret, and Spirit here. This really makes me think of Secret Rendezvous, which would be someone else, not his friend. But it still could mean it. I mean, shippers could even be other shippers. Doesn't have to be Gulf shippers. Could be, the other two followers. Could be that too. That they have to cut down their serendipitous encounters even more because more people are paying attention because of, how much possibly we Waanjai are still so sure and confident about what we believe in. Could be something like that. But it's all meant to be. With the Spirit and the cross here, it's a real sign that it's destiny. It's what's meant to be, just taking its course. And Gulf is calm and might be a little bit anxious, but he's also sort of got a form of understanding and a form of maturity and a form of at peace with the idea that destiny will take its course wherever that will go. I sort of get that. Yeah. All right. Well, I think I've covered that enough. Let's come down here. Missed it? No, you haven't missed it. I'm still going, and you can always go back and watch it from the beginning, Elizabeth. I don't know how it's going on YouTube, though. I've seen the yellow banner and even no data turn up a few times, so I probably will have to re-upload this one, I think. Anyway, let me change the camera here. I just packed up the cards that were there before, if you wanted to know what I was doing just then. Because they're already on the fridge, you can see them there. So that was Gulf's card, and now, like we did for Mew, we will ask Buddha Wisdom to give us 3 cards or more for advice for Gulf for this month. Okay, so Buddha Wisdom, please give us 3 cards or more for advice for Gulfkanawut in this month of January 2026 regarding the bouquet, the clouds and the mountain, and the cards we've just pulled as well. Regarding, I suppose, the theme of destiny taking its course, what is your advice for Gulfkanawut? Oh, there's a flip one there. Wow, again we got that card. This is the first one we got for Mew. We got it for Gulf this time. Remember in the last reading we got it for Mew and Tool. And we actually kind of got it for Gulf as well. We got it for all 3 of them because I refused to take it for Gulf, but it kind of showed itself in between shuffles. So anyway, happiness does not depend on what you have or who you are. It solely relies on what you think. So I take that for Gulf as if he is happy and serene with whatever is going to happen with destiny, then, you know, he's got the true form of happiness right there if he's at peace with whatever's going to happen. All right, and can you give us at least 2 more cards, please, Buddha Wisdom, for advice for Gulfkanawut for the month of January 2026. That's one more, please. Advice for Gulfkanawut in the month of January for 2026. One more, please. Advice for Gulfkanawut. Thank you. Help someone today. If you light a lamp for someone else, it will also brighten your path. Turn this around. And you can't change how people feel about you, so don't try. Just live your life and be happy. Good advice there. If I want to look into more of what this could mean, help someone today. If you light a lamp for someone else, it will also brighten your path. This could be light a lamp, brighten your path. It could be that he is still a beacon of light, beacon of healing for Mew, secretly or you know, from a distance. He's that sort of, he's like a lighthouse for Mew to see the way back home, so to speak. It could be that, or it could be him helping his friend Smith by not pursuing anything further than friends who play soccer together and such. By not pursuing like the possibility of doing a BL together, he could be protecting or helping his friend to stay on the right course. And this one, well, live your life and be happy because you can't change how people feel about you, so don't try. Well, Gulf has never really tried to change people's minds, has he? He just continues showing up, continues achieving things. So I think just keep doing what you're doing is what that card is really saying. All right, so there's that. And now what we've possibly been on the edge of our seat about, or at least I have, tools reading now. Oh, I just realized before I did Gulf's reading I didn't read out my summary, did I? Let me just do that quickly before I move on to Tool. So Gulf, going back to Gulf, he had Bouquet, Clouds, Mountain, and the findings I had at that, of those combinations. So Bouquet and Clouds can mean deceptive and confusing social circle, false gratitude, conflicting values, preferring to remain pessimistic, enjoying the rain, confusing ethics, unclear invitation, daydreaming and laziness. Clouds and Mountain, challenges resulting from uncertainty, obstacles, failure, being stuck in a confused situation, long-term inability to make concrete decisions, avoiding facing your problems, hiding from others and becoming a hermit. Oh, well, that could be what the moon was about. That could be what the moon is about, remaining hidden. Bouquet Mountain, obstacles in social situations, difficulties enjoying gifts, keeping up appearances becomes a challenge, habit of apologizing too much, appreciating time spent alone, gifts you do not want to accept, hiking outdoors, happiness comes slowly. Happiness comes slowly. Well, the hiking outdoors, etc. was in traveling, which I suppose you could say Gulf has already traveled this month. Difficulties enjoying gifts. Now I wanted to go through this. This could even go back to this. It's meant to be. It may be a burden currently, but it's meant to be. All this attention he's getting in public, possibly. So my summary, I said, it sounds like this month will be a quiet one that Gulf wants to spend alone or remain inactive for a while. The moon here. So possibly becomes a little less social and becomes more private. Nothing scheduled till the 15th, as I said. He may receive some form of gift that he doesn't wish to accept or finds it hard to appreciate and enjoy. Now this made me think of how generous Waanjai may gift mewgulf for their 7 years of love anniversary this month, upcoming. I happen to know there's a few projects in the works, and it may be hard for Gulf to accept these gifts and projects and gestures this year. If it's true what's happening on the other side, then it may be hard for Gulf to accept, simply because he thinks, like, haven't you people, woken up yet? It's been a year already. I gave the benefit of the doubt that maybe it was new news to some people last year, but come on, it's been a year. You can't keep doing this with me and someone who is engaged, let alone in a relationship already. It could be something like that. Or it could just be, even if Mew and Gulf are still secretly together, because of what's being shown in public, it could still sort of bring anxiety and a little bit of worry to Gulf, being associated with Mew in this way. Now that's not to say that Waanjai shouldn't do it, because, as I said, meant to happen. Whatever this is, it's meant to happen. So you could say Waanjai could have a part to play in destiny, possibly. So you never know what influence is being done for, because let's be honest, not every Waanjai is going to back out and not every Waanjai is going to take part. So it's really quite, chance and sort of, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. No matter what. Something is going to happen. There's a change coming anyway. So yeah, it could very well be that Gulf may just find it a little hard to keep it together or to accept gifts from or the gifts from Waanjai this month, just because of what's happening in public right now. Whether it's true or not, it just might be a little harder for Gulf to, keep himself associated with such things. It could even be that, like all the years in the past, he has congratulated us, he has wished us a happy birthday, he's done all that kind of stuff. Maybe he won't this year. Maybe he'll choose to remain quiet and sort of inactive, as we said, in regards to us this year, because of the difficulty of what's happening in the public eye. Possibly. Only a possibility. But yeah, the thing about how it may be that Gulf, if it's true what's happening on the other side, Gulf might just be like, come on people, it's been a year. Like, who wouldn't know what's being perceived to be happening in the public eye right now? The way they hammer it on the media, the way they do it in press and talk shows since that engagement on stage. Like, who wouldn't know that they're meant to be getting married at the end of this year now? It's old news. Like, anybody who doesn't know the public opinion of what's happening right now would be living under a rock. So perhaps, you know, Gulf might find it hard to accept gifts from people who still think that it's not happening. Perhaps. Because some people do think it's not happening. Some people think it's all a farce, all a show. Some people believe, and I tend to go this way more, that there's something happening behind the scenes that we don't know about, that kind of Mew has no control over, and he sort of has to just go with it right now because it would be too hard to challenge. It would be too hard to legally challenge what's being done right now in secret, hidden behind the scenes. He can't challenge it. He's in no position to challenge it right now. So really, he has to just sit back, enjoy life as it is for now, and wait until possibly destiny steps in and helps him to get realigned with his true path. Possibly. So there's that possibility as well. So Gulf may have mixed feelings about accepting such gifts and gestures while the engagement is still on, more or less. Whether it's a fake engagement, a real engagement or not. He may just have a bit of difficulty accepting things as they are this year. He may prefer to just remain low and silent while the other party goes through whatever this sudden shock is that we're about to learn about with Tools reading. Especially if it happens to involve him in some form, whether that be, you know, through destiny or through actual physical connection. It may even involve him in a third party sort of way. It might be the other party is shocked by how many active Waanjai there still are, how loyal Waanjai still are. Possibly by, you know, the fact of the gestures or the gifts that we're going to give this month. They'll be like, wow, like you're still, you know, persisting with all this. It may trigger them into taking action to either clear the air in regards to the truth about them, or clear the air in regards to the rumors and gossip about them. Okay, so that was for Gulf. And now moving on to Tools. So Tool's Astro 3. Now, if you don't want to know about Tool, then by all means you can go now, and I will I'll put the chapter marks into this video so that you can stop watching before we get onto Tool. But honestly, if you can stomach it for a little while, I would suggest you watch it, because you kind of need to know what's happening on his side in order to understand the possible full picture of what's going on. So especially this month, because this month, like I said, his has been the most intriguing combination with the Scythe, Man and Spirit. So let's find out. So those combinations, I'll go through them. Hang on, let me change everything first. So officially we are done with Gulf now. We move on to Tool. I'll put it on this one as well, in case I forget later. Alright. And the cards. So the first card is Man. Oh, that's too big. He's a big man. Big man. Okay, Man to Scythe. Clouds become Scythe. And Mountain becomes spirit, wasn't it? Okay. Alright, so tool, we have man, scythe, spirit. Now, so man and scythe first. The combination of man and scythe. A hurtful and dangerous man, aggressive, impulsive, sharply decisive, a male ex or a man who you once cut off, or he cut you off. He cut you off. Or your communication was cut with. A man's accident, an accident-prone gentleman, or a male in the military or at war. And that could be figuratively speaking as well, like at war with himself or at war with the world, you know, him against the world. It can mean that too. Next combination, scythe, spirit, sudden spiritual event, a sudden, possibly unexpected spiritual experience or breakthrough, possibly a spiritual awakening, a sharp break or sudden ending to a spiritual practice, a belief system or connection with a particular spirit or entity, the need to act quickly on a strong intuition or a message from the spirit world or universe. Okay, and then man and spirit. A man that is deeply connected to his intuition, spiritual beliefs, or the unseen world. Unseen influences. A man is being influenced by unseen forces, or there are secrets surrounding him that are not yet revealed. A man seeking spiritual growth. A man who is exploring or studying spirituality, potentially wishing for knowledge in this area. Synchronicity, it can also mean, man and spirit. The pairing can suggest a man who experiences a lot of meaningful coincidences or synchronicity in his life. Now, who does that sound like, really, guys? It doesn't sound like Tull. And I don't think it is. I don't think this man is Tull at all. I think this man is Mew. Anyway, my summary of what I said. This really does sound like karma, or the universe stepping in and endangering this karmic couple's relationship status. Like an endangered species. Oof. This man in Tull's life is deeply connected to his intuition, experiences a lot of meaningful coincidences or synchronicities with someone or something. He seeks to learn and study more about his spirituality, along with other things. And yes, he is surrounded by many unrevealed secrets. And then I go into what I was talking about earlier. So, hang on. Here I go on about the year of Saturn. So, don't forget, 2025 was the year of Saturn. Saturn governs discipline, karma, and life lessons. For those who are familiar with Sailor Moon, the anime, if you remember when Sailor Saturn entered the story arc, she sort of brought disaster to the story. And that's kind of what the year of Saturn was like. The biggest thing probably in Mew, Gulf, and Tull's case was the earthquake that happened in Thailand. No one saw it coming. That was a real shock, wasn't it? And the fact that even during that earthquake, Mew had a bit of a fright with Chopper as well. That was another thing, specifically to them. And then I could go on about all the other things, but I covered it in the other video. If you go back, I spoke about all the other sudden, shocking things that happened last year. Anyway, there's also then the year of the snake, which is said to have been about shedding what no longer fits and recognizing where we are living out of habit or comfort instead of truth. It wasn't about a rapid change, but understanding why this change is necessary, this coming change is necessary. It reminded us that growth is something that happens invisibly, and that letting go is not an ending but preparation for what comes next. And technically we are still in the year of the snake, as the astrological year doesn't change until February 16. So this sudden change or breakup, whatever it is, could be the final move of the snake to prepare Tul, in this case, and also the man, possibly Mew, for the fast and fiery horse, the year 2026, who will act on what was revealed to them during the year of the snake, and act on their instincts, intuition, and the truth, and move towards what feels more aligned, because the shedding is done. Okay, so that was all my summary sort of write-up about these cards. Now, the moment. Let's see what we can find out about these three cards more today. Alright, little deck, please tell us what is in store for this month of January 2026 for Tul Pakorn, please. Count to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, here we go, guys. Are you ready? Are you ready? Gosh, I'm like, what's it gonna be? What are these cards gonna reveal? All right, here we go. Center card. Cross. Well, this will be the first 9-box portrait I've done for Tul in this kind of monthly reading, so that's exciting too. Oh, no, it goes that way. Okay, 9 cards, guys. What are they? Okay, let's see what the center reveals. What is this all based on? Sun. Clarity, guys, clarity. This is all based on clarity. Possibly happiness, but more clarity. Like I said, I seem to like shining the light on something is more what I get from this. And remember, Mew had sun here. So, okay. Clarity, huh? Alright, and what about the cover card? Fish. Well, that's not really a surprise. Of course, depending on the card surrounding it as usual, but honestly, the first thing that I think of when I see the fish in abundance is money. Right? Money. And we know Tul is a money person, so that's not out of place at all. Funnily enough, though, Mew didn't have fish in his this time, which he normally does. So that's interesting. Perhaps Tul holds the money for Mew. Tul is Mew's money source this month. Alright, and then what about the conclusion card? Clouds. Ooh, clouds. Clouds. Okay, let's just move on. Let's frame the sun properly. So the other corners, scythe, guys, scythe, the scythe that was in his astro clock, there it is, you see it. Okay, and the other corner, whip. Whip in exactly the same position as Mew here. Wonder if that means anything. Alright. And then what else have we got? The top card here. House. Ooh, house and scythe. Okay, interesting. And Cross. Alright, and this one. Fox. Fox. Deception and lies, guys. I don't think it's work. Deception and lies. And then the last one, bouquet. Okay, that's quite a spread. Honestly, the only real positive cards I see is Sun and Bouquet here. But because of the surrounding cards of those, I'm not sure if that can really be said to be positive. Anyway. Oh, that's right. I can't put it up. So there's no room for Tool. So I can't put him up here. So we will remain down here for this one. I forgot to mention that. Alright. Out of habit, guys. Sorry. So, right. So let's just get on with it then. So, past column or earlier in the month we have Fish, Fox, Whip. Continues to receive abundance or money, finance for or as a result of the lies and deception that are continuing to be told. Could be that. Or it could be continuing to receive money for all the jobs, businesses and hard work that he puts in, continues to put in to his work, basically. Two options there. Hang on. Let me see if I have these combinations. This one I really want to be thorough about because of the nature of it. So I might spend a little longer trying to get the definitions of these. Let's see, Fish and Fox. Do we have Fish and Fox? We do. Fish and Fox. Caution about finances, selfishness and greed regarding money. Selfishness and greed regarding money. Could be his love of money or his greed for money makes him continue whatever this whip is referring to, whether that be abuse in a relationship, possibly, you know, form of abuse, let's say manipulating a situation for his benefit, for his financial benefit, manipulating a situation, continuing to tell lies, continuing to deceive people in order to gain money. Or if we take Tool out of the sort of bad guy spotlight, it could be that somebody else is selfish and greedy in his workplace, or maybe Mew himself continues to be selfish and greedy and wants to keep doing things in order to get money. It could be something like that. Or it could be even somebody else. It could be his dad, somebody else in his family. Their selfish and greed wants them to continue this false story, or to continue having this power over possibly him and Tool to keep things going for the sake of money. Something like that. Fish and Whip. Interesting, I have that too. Fish and Whip. Conflicts over money or business matters, financial compensation, refund, competitive swimming, strokes of money, misappropriating funds, using money as a weapon. Strokes of money. Strokes of money makes me think of that card we got from you of stroke of luck. Not getting what you want can sometimes be a stroke of luck. Maybe it's regarding a business not turning out. Maybe it's regarding some business they wanted to really, you know, take off and succeed, ends up failing and possibly being shut down, and it's a blessing in disguise, supposedly. Something like that. And this relates to Tull too, because they're in business together, aren't they? So it's probably one of their co-partnered businesses, if it were that. Do we have Fox and Whip? Lastly. Fox and Whip. We do. This is interesting, guys. I didn't have the combinations for the other two, but I've got these combinations. Fox and Whip. Self-harm, have caution over aggression, animal trap, dodging abuse, persuading someone to be critical of others, working in an abusive environment. Somebody's selfishness and greed causes Tull to continue working in an abusive environment, and an abusive environment may not be abusive to him, but it could be, you know, somebody else is being abused, or he's being abused alongside with somebody else in order to get money. Could be that. Wow, okay. That's interesting. Alright, and then moving on to the present column, we have House, Sun, Bouquet. House can be family, comfort zone, work family. Brings happiness, or is doing well for his career right now. And Bouquet, small little gifts. This could even be the fandom. This could be Tull's fans, possibly even shippers. Make him happy, but perhaps he's starting to. It could also be that he's starting to feel like he sees the clarity of why these shippers are so happy, and the little gifts and, you know, posts and everything that they do on their behalf. Maybe he's starting to see the clarity of all this, that it's not meant to last, and that shippers who do this are kind of not in it for the long run. They're just there because at the moment they're on the winning side, supposedly. It's kind of, yeah, where I get taken with that. Let me have a look. House, Sun. It could be that just being at home with his family brings warmth to Tull as well. It could be that too. And he's grateful to have a home so loving and warm. Could also be that. House, Sun. I should have these because I did House before. House, Sun. I don't have it. It's one of the ones I'm missing. How about that? The positive ones I'm missing. Sun Bouquet then? Do we have Sun Bouquet? No Sun Bouquet. What about House Bouquet? Is there House? I should have looked before. Is there House Bouquet? No House Bouquet. That's interesting. I had the negative, but I don't have the positive. Not planned, guys. Not planned. Alright. I may not have these either, so who knows. We'll see what happens. So yeah, I've said what I get from them for now. And what about this later in the month or in the future? We have Scythe, Cross, clouds. Sudden change that is destined brings confusion. Sudden change that brings trouble and burden brings confusion. Sudden spiritual happening brings confusion. Can't really get away from that card being confusion, guys. It's really because it ends with it. If you remember the way I said, like if, let's say if clouds was up here and scythe was down there, then it could be that the confusion ends. But because it's this way, it all results in confusion. And if something brings you so much happiness, how can you end the month in confusion? Interesting. All right. Do I have those combinations? Let's have a look. So we're looking for scythe cross to start with. I don't have scythe cross. No scythe cross. What about cross clouds? We do have cross clouds. Cross clouds is uncertainty causes suffering, uncertain sacrifices, suffering from mental health issues, stress affecting your mood, and suffering because of difficult people. Suffering because of difficult people. Okay. And what about... I should have checked while I was there. Scythe clouds. Do we have scythe clouds? No scythe clouds. Okay. Well, anyway, that can be what it is, you know, difficult people. I said somebody's very... Over here we have somebody's greedy or deceptive, telling lies. And selfish. Somebody who's greedy and selfish, telling lies and deceptive, brings burden and confusion to the picture. Could be Tull himself, but it could also be somebody else. Could even be if you want to make the sun new, and you go like this, then it could be that Tull's greed and selfishness and telling lies and deception that he's possibly, you know, pulled Mew into a contract to have to say all this stuff on camera as well. All this is causing a burden to not just him but also Mew. Could be something like that. Alright, and then let's go this way. So on the top, what's on his mind? Money, house, scythe. His financial stability and possibly a support system. Could be about to change, could be about to end. Yeah, change or end. It's really all it can be. Change or end. Then down to reality, we have Fox, Sun, Cross. Lies and deception bring false happiness, which is a burden. Or hard work and strategy bring clarity, to a situation that is troublesome, or remaining careful and strategic allows him to be happy with his fate, destiny. Do I have these combinations? Let me just go back up and see if I've got... Like I said, I want to be really thorough with this one because this, in my opinion, this is the most important one this month. Fish. No sun cross either. Shocking. Okay. So yeah, I can't really add any more to that then. And then hidden influences, we have down here the whip. Also in hidden influences for Mew. So obviously there's something. Hidden influences is something continues that may not be as pleasant as people think. Bouquet and clouds can be like keeping up appearances becomes a burden, becomes a challenge. Hang on. I'm pretty sure I have bouquet and clouds. Let me see. Yeah, bouquet and clouds. Deceptive and confusing social circle, false gratitude, conflicting values, preferring to remain pessimistic, enjoying the rain, confusing ethics, unclear invitation, daydreaming, and laziness. So he continues to do all that. In other words, the whip with all that. He continues to do all that. He continues to be deceptive. He continues to confuse his social circle or his fans. He continues to receive false gratitude. Continues to daydream about what could be rather than what is. Yes, and no, that's the other way around. Where's whip bouquet? Do we have whip bouquet? We do. Whip bouquet. Exploiting gratitude, showing kindness during conflict, disguising pain and abuse as something positive. Disguising pain and abuse as something positive. Really? Okay. Finding enjoyment in mistreating others. Ooh. Gifts are given repeatedly or to make up or fix the appearance of something continuously. That almost makes me think of like the fan service that they're possibly giving to shippers. You know, now and then they put little things out to make the shippers smile, to make them believe again when there's a time of drought, let's say, between them. So yeah, with Fox here, deception and lies, I think it is what it is. And then this is like false gifts, false appearance, continues. But then we have the scythe here. Scythe. So while this is all continuing, while the deception and lies continue, while the continuing to keep up appearances, continuing to wear the false mask, continuing to dress something negative up as positive, something abusive up as positive, while doing all this, there's a spiritual awakening possibly happening. Or destiny and karma is about to catch up with him and step in and take over. That's what I get from that as well. Alright, and then tease fish, house, scythe, sun, bouquet. Money and house, there'll be a change. There's a coming change or even a ending that is going to bring clarity and small happiness to him in the end. Yeah, pretty much. And then this way, whip, bouquet, clouds, sun, house. Continuing to dress something up as positive that might be negative will bring clarity to his family, to him, to his fans, possibly of... I feel like it's sort of saying the truth is revealing itself. No matter how hard he tries to dress things up or to mask what's really happening, it continues to reveal itself through the fog, so to speak. Then this side, whip, fox, fish, or the other way, fish, fox, whip, sun, cross. Somebody continues to be greedy or selfish, strategic, which brings false happiness, or possibly puts a burden on somebody's happiness, brings trouble to somebody's happiness, ends somebody's happiness. Or brings clarity to someone, brings clarity and truth about destiny to somebody because of somebody's selfishness and deceptive ways. Clarity is brought to somebody. And the other way, scythe, cross, clouds, sun, fox. Some sort of spiritual awakening, a sudden spiritual happening that goes by. Is going to be confusing, but also will reveal or clarify things for someone about somebody who has been deceptive and possibly greedy, selfish and strategic all this time. Alright, and then knighting. Well, the scythe is knighted with the fox first off, and then the fox is knighted with clouds as well. So going to be a change with whoever this person is, whether it be a family member, whether it be Mew, whether it be himself. There's going to be a change. It's going to bring confusion at first to them and probably people around them, but it will be all for the better, and it's meant to happen. We go this side. Cross is linked with whip and fish. So if this is destiny, then destiny will continue or be returned to. Realignment will happen, in other words. Or will continue on if they're already on the right path. Or destiny and fish here. An abundance of spirituality will make itself known this month, which could be signs, could be synchronicities, could be this sudden spiritual awakening, could be have a big influence, an abundance of emotions, etc. on him and the other person. But this way, bouquet, fish, bouquet, scythe. Ooh, so generous gifts, generous little gifts, and money, and progress possibly being made in their businesses, etc. Could be brought to an end, or just could have a sudden change, could have a drastic change. Or if we go down to this being like the mask that is being worn, it could be that the mask falls off. The mask finally falls off with these two. Or the pretty picture is cut away and finally people see the abuse and the confusion hidden behind that pretty picture. Maybe. And then house, whip, house, clouds. Fans and family continue to support or continue to abuse, as all forms of abuse can be emotionally manipulating the situation can be abuse as well, which brings confusion. If you go to the idea that possibly in private, Mew and Tool have already had a talk about that things need to end, but perhaps their families or family, one side of them, insists on continuing for the sake of appearance, and this brings trouble and confusion into the picture for both of them. Could be something like that as well. Okay, I think I've done as much as I really can with that. So that hasn't really brought us what I would call calming results. It's kind of just brought more questions to the table, hasn't it? Still, there's definitely something with the fox here, with the whip here, with the clouds and the bouquet here. There is definitely something going on behind the scenes that we're not aware of. And like I said at the beginning of this video, it could even be that Mew, because of his selfish and greedy ways or tactics, he may continue to have Tool suffer because he insists on keeping this connection with Gulf, keeping us other fans connected in order to keep getting money and benefiting from our attention. It could even be something like that. Taking Tool out of the bad guy position again and kind of actually putting Mew there, because it takes two to tango, doesn't it? Unless, of course, he's outright being forced, which isn't the worst idea, you know. It's well, not the worst, but it's not the craziest idea. There are a lot of things that point to something of the way Mew keeps feeling he's trapped, alienated, lonely, has no choice. In so many readings, we've got this vibe from him. So there's definitely something behind the scenes going on. What we don't know is who's truly responsible for it and how it's going to all end. That's what we don't know. Anyway, I'll leave those cards there because I can't put them up on the fridge. Let's pull 3 cards from Buddha Wisdom for Tool. Advice for Tool Pakorn for the month of January 2026 in 3 cards or more, please, Buddha Wisdom. What is your advice to him about this month and the sudden change or the shock, the scythe, basically? What's your advice to him about this scythe moment that was going to fall? Guys, did you see, guys, how that happened? Anyway. Alright, so what have we got? What you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. What you imagine, you create. That could be going towards the idea that Tull imagined himself with Mew, imagined that it was all going to work out, so he's created all this. But he now needs to sort of wake up and realize that it was all an illusion, perhaps. Or if you go in the more positive way, then if he imagines himself being happy with Mew, it will be so. You can create that happiness. Could also be pointing that way. No one is going to rescue you from yourself. Only self-love can rescue you. Oh, that points to Tull needs to do spiritual work like Mew does. Right there. Or it could even be, this could be, if you want to go that way, it could be that this is in regards to Mew. It could be a reminder to Tull that he can't rescue Mew. He's not the answer to Mew getting out of this trapped mentality that he's in. Mew has to do that himself. And as I've said many times, the only way he can really do that is by being single and going deep within, reuniting with himself, with his inner child, who feels neglected right now, and getting realigned with himself. And whether he returns back to Tull after that or not is up to, fate. But that's what Mew has to do. So perhaps that's something for Tull to sort of recognize. And then every experience, no matter how bad it seems, holds within it a blessing of some kind. The goal is to find it. Well, that could also be about this. He ends this month in clouds, in confusion. So whatever this sudden change or this sudden shock or this complete ending of something is, no matter how bad it seems at the time, Tull should try and find the positive. Find the blessing in disguise with all this. This also goes back to, like I mentioned about, it could be something about the business falls through. Because remember the other card that Mew got about a stroke of luck. It can be a stroke of luck to not get what you want. It could be one of their businesses falling through because it's just not meant to happen. It's not meant to work. It's not meant to succeed. It could be that too. Alright, so that's Tull's advice for the month of January right there. All in all though, with everything we've read today, I really get the idea that this Scythe moment is a spiritual awakening moment of himself or Mew. It's going to change things from there on. Things are going to change. Perspectives are going to change. If Tull ends up in confusion by the end of the month, then I just cannot see that as being positive for him and Mew, really. I think it's possibly going to be a little bit of a rocky road for them, say between now and, when was the heart-to-heart talk? April. Maybe between then and between now and then, it'll be a bit of a rocky road for them. Well, sure, they might appear with smiles on their faces and look like they're getting along just fine for the public appearances, but bouquet and clouds here, it could just all be to keep fans happy and unaware of what's happening behind the scenes. And it could all be working up to a breakup, or it could even be that they've already broken up. I've seen a lot of posts over the last year of people breaking up with a big last hurrah post of we haven't said anything, but over the last whatever amount of time it's been, we haven't been together. I want to thank everybody for their support of being our fans, etc. But I would also like everybody to respect our decision to move on. I've seen a lot of those. Sort of breaking up in a very dignified manner, you could say. And still, it always seems to end with the idea that, you know, they ended on mutual terms. And that's sort of what I see. That's what I foresee happening in their regard. That either Mew or Tul will sort of make a big speech about it all in the end. Possibly. And people will have no choice but to respect, because they brought it out like that. They'll have to be like, well, you had the guts to come forward and say all that, then, you know, no doubts anymore. This is what is. This is what the situation is, and that's that. But of course then, you know, if they do break up, it's up to Mew not to rush to the other side, you know. Take his time, like I said in the parents' reading. Both the father and the mother sort of wanted Mew to take his time in deciding his next move. So don't be impulsive and run straight for the other relationship. Jump from one to the other. Have a break in between. Sort yourself out first. Because in the end, Mew needs to heal himself first. Like I said before. Nobody can help him. Nobody can fix him. Nobody can complete him. He has to do his own work, his own spiritual inner work. He has to heal himself from his past, and you know, become reunited with his inner child, etc. He has to do all that for himself. And only once he does that can he be the ultimate partner to whoever is meant to be with him. Whether that be Gulf or Tul or somebody else in the end. Right? Okay. I think I've talked enough now about all that. I think we've done well today for the timing. 5:26, yeah? So, I forgot to mention at the beginning of my video. Hang on, let me go. Good afternoon, nearly missed it. If I missed any other comments. No, that's it. Good. It all came through on the screen in the end. That's good. So that should come up. Should come up. Anyway, yeah. So it's been interesting today. What I was going to say is for how I'm going to do these readings for this year. Today I'm not going to do a check-in. I think timing-wise, like we've done well today, but other days it may take longer because we have more cards to cover. Like some months have 4 cards, if you remember. So doing 3 different people, 3 different readings, plus the 3 cards from Buddha Wisdom, I think that's enough for the quota of the day. And what I'll do is, because I'm going to do a fortnight check-in. Oh gosh, I did not mean that, guys. What did I just do? Because I'm going to do a fortnight check-in. Excuse me a minute. Thought I was going to sneeze. Sorry. So that will be what I do on the next reading. The next reading will be purely check-in for mewgulf, and maybe even check-in for the other 2. I might do it like that. So do one and the other, and then splitting the videos will be a lot easier. Instead of splicing, I'll just be able to cut straight where each subject ends. So yeah, that's how I plan to do the readings from now on. Also, it'll be either a portrait reading or a check-in reading, so not mixed anymore, so that'll be less confusing for everybody as well. And if it's something completely different, I may still do those random ones now and then. I'm trying not to do that as much though, because it just gives me more things I have to edit and get out there, you know, within a certain time. So I'm looking at the wrong screen, sorry guys. So yeah, I probably won't do as many random ones as I used to. I still get the odd request in my DMs, and the problem is I can't even send it to you privately if it's through Instagram. Instagram is, honestly, I wish it was different, but it's very hard to send a video through Instagram to people. So I think it has to, like, 2 minutes is the longest it can be a video. So if you have a Telegram account, I can absolutely send you a private reading if you need it. Not for you, don't get that wrong, not for you, but if you have a specific question that isn't being covered in my general readings about MewGulf or the other two, I can do that for you and send it to you privately instead of, you know, publishing on my channel, so to speak. Especially if it's a, you know, a question that shouldn't really be brought to the public. I've had those in the past. I'll leave it at that. You can guess which kind of subject that was. But yeah, just there's going to be less of those happening now, unless I get the urge to sort of clear something up like I did with Gulf and Smith, for example. Which I really think that reading did its job. Of course, on the outside, people are still oblivious. Shippers are still shipping. And, you know, there's this one account, this one crazy account that keeps synchronizing things between Gulf and Smith the same way, or trying to be the same way as what our couple is. And all I can do is laugh, because it's just not, like, you can tell it's so one-sided, the way things are. You can just tell. And also with my reading of Gulf and Smith the other day, of Smith being like the go-getter, him and his mother sort of being interested in pursuing that further, but Gulf not wanting any part of it, kind of already tells it itself as well, that obviously these synchronizations are planned by someone. Could be Smith, could be his mother, could be somebody else, but it's definitely planned. It's not a coincidence. It's not fate and destiny. It's nothing like that. This is pure, like, planning to try and bring attention to them in that way, so that fans start believing that there's something there when there's nothing. So it could be that. Anyway, I think I've said enough. I think I've said enough for today, so I hope you all enjoyed the reading. As usual, I will translate it and add the translations as soon as I've done them. I will go back and check how this video did, whether we had a lot of stuff missing or not. If there was stuff missing, I'll have to edit it. If there's not stuff missing, then I will at least just have to put chapters in for you. So that will be what I work on from now to the next fortnight, basically. I've given myself 2 weeks now in between readings to get things sorted, so hopefully I can do that. And yeah, hope everybody's enjoying a happy new fresh year. Like I said, last year was all about shedding what no longer serves, and that's for everybody. So for even us Waanjai, you know, shedding the idea that we have to do things a certain way, and preparing for the new, so to speak, the new way of supporting, the new way of our new perspective on things like that. I noticed a lot of Waanjai over the last few days have been sharing pictures of Mew with someone, and I'm not about to say that, you know, you're betraying being a Waanjai or anything, because you're not really. I just see that as more people are starting to sort of accept what's publicly being perceived right now. More people are starting to accept what could happen, but they're also not letting go of what they believe in or what they think is going to happen. They're just sort of gearing up for the worst. That's what they're doing, gearing up for the worst, which is a good thing to do. You know, you should be prepared for any outcome. So yeah, I've noticed that. So that's sort of, to me, that's like the snake. This is the last month of the year of the snake, as I said earlier. So we should all probably use this month to decide what this year is going to be like for us. Us Waanjai I'm talking about. We should use this month to decide what this year is going to be about for us personally as a Waanjai. All on an individual basis, you know. Can I keep going on supporting both of them the way I have? Can I keep supporting Mew in this situation? Can I keep supporting everything Mew does, businesses, etc.? If it's possibly all done, you know, if it all has a dark side to it, can I still keep supporting it all for the sake of his publicity and reputation, things like that? These are things I'm asking myself as well. And you know, even I'm considering like about Tool. Can I keep seeing Tool as possibly innocent, like innocent before proven guilty? Can I keep seeing him that way? You know, like the first mindset I had was that all three of them were in on something and protecting the truth all together as a group, a mutual agreement of some kind. The more I read the cards, the more I'm not seeing that. The more I'm seeing more of the idea of a twin flame couple being held back, being separated, which he is obviously, even if not fully responsible for, he is part of what's keeping them apart. So that's sort of how I'm seeing it now. And am I going to keep seeing it that way? Am I myself going to keep supporting the way I am? Am I going to keep only liking some of the things that Mew shows? Or am I going to go back to how I used to be and like everything for the sake of supporting Mew? Things like that. You know, just, it all happens on an individual basis. You know where you stand with what you can stand from that side of things, what you are happy to support, what you know you'll do no matter what happens or what the result is in the end, whether you'll continue supporting or not. Yeah, it's all up to you. And I think that this last month of the year of the snake, we should all spend it really pondering and thinking about how this year is going to look for us as Waanjai, and also personal life as well, you know, of course, because being a Waanjai is only something on the side after all. We all have our own lives. We all know where, you know, our priorities lie and what we need to focus on. But in regards to being a Waanjai, you know, what kind of a Waanjai are you going to be this year? That's the question. What kind of a Waanjai fan are you going to be this year? Anyway, I'll leave you with that. I was just thinking, should I do 3 for Waanjai again? No, I don't think so. I think we're good. I think we got the advice for the year. I think it's alright with that. Alright, so I'll say goodbye, guys. Thank you for watching today, and I'll see you in a fortnight. Bye!